So, I had a long talk with my wife many years ago. She wasn't really into politics until Trump was elected or when he actually started running because she's a kind, gentle, smart, intelligent, rational person, and anyone like that is not going to like Donald Trump. But she kind of swayed over to the Democratic side, and I had explained to her that politicians are politicians. Politicians are politicians. Now, that's not to be mistaken with politics. I said, you have people who are politicians and they do all the things politicians do, except they're not two-faced. I said, those are the politicians you need to look out for, the two-faced politician. Because you see, if a person is a liar and a cheat, after the age of 20, they will always be a liar and a cheat to some degree. Now, some people are just over the fucking moon cheaters and liars who, throughout their life, become less cheaters and less liars. Okay? Because I've always said, and I truly believe, that people can change. But not when your fucking paycheck is attached to it. That is a politician. You see, these jobs that they do, the majority of the jobs that are done in government can be done by anyone. Anyone. They're not fucking special, you see, but when they carry a title, they think it makes them special. And therefore, that is what they want the job for. And the money. You take Lauren Boebert. What the fuck would Lauren Boebert do for a living if she wasn't in government? You see, she's making more money now than she could make at any fucking job that she qualifies for on the outside. It should probably be very difficult for her to hold a job, okay? The way she treats other people and with her views on life. But you look at Nikki Haley, okay? Nikki Haley hated fucking Donald Trump. Then she loved Donald Trump. Then she's running against Donald Trump and she couldn't say enough bad things about the man. And then when she lost, she endorsed Donald Trump. That is a person who is a compulsive and deeply wounded soul who will do anything for themselves. They are not there to serve you. They're not there to serve America. They are there to serve themselves because they have no moral fiber that can hold weight. You see, their rope is made of this whimsical, whatever the fuck, very, very flimsy and untrustworthy rope to support yourself in life. When you're hanging from a cliff, what you really want is a steel cable. You don't care how hard it is, okay? As long as it won't let you down. It's not going to change into a toilet paper rope in the middle of your climb. It's going to be a steel rope from the bottom to the top. It's going to support your weight, and you know it's going to support your weight. And what does that do? That allows you to climb the mountain. You have someone like Nikki Haley, okay? Your rope is steel, and you're climbing this mountain, which is your decision-making process for something very important like who's going to be the next president. And halfway up this fucking mountain, you realize that this rope you had been relying on to be a steel, just solid rope has all of a sudden turned to cotton. It's toilet paper rope now. And here you are stuck halfway up this fucking hill. And now your climb using that is gone. So anyone who supported Nikki Haley was going against Donald Trump. And that is what they counted on. And when she endorsed Donald Trump, this is what she did, even though she doesn't know it. She solidified those people to vote for anyone but Donald Trump. She accomplished the opposite of what she thought she was going to accomplish, which was keep her job. Because the Democrats are going to smash the Republicans in November. And now where does that leave her? Untrustworthy. a two-faced, talking out of both sides of her face, liar who will lie. National television, Trump's a fucking Nazi, communist, bastard, rapist, criminal, fraud, and then all of a sudden he's not. And I'm endorsing him for president because I want to keep my fucking easy ass job. That's it. Very few politicians are in government for 10 years without being corrupted. Unfortunately, that's human nature, okay? And it's actually a kind of a trapdoor for politicians, is these groups will come to you. You have to understand that there's 25 fucking bribery agents in Washington for every politician. And these bribery agents come to your office with a big fucking check sticking out of their pocket, right here where you can see it, like the guy that walks into a car lot with his checkbooks in his pocket. And, she folded all of her ideals because of those groups. Because they just flat told her, well, we're not going to support you unless you endorse Donald Trump. We're not going to support you unless you do this and say this. We're not going to support you unless you vote this way on this bill. Okay? Not what's best for the American people or for your neighbors or for your relatives or for yourself, but for big business, corporations and companies. You see, the reason Donald Trump has any support whatsoever being a rapist, criminal, fraud, everybody knows the man's record, okay? And if you think Donald Trump should be president, then you have no moral fiber. You literally have no moral fiber whatsoever. And you're thinking what you're hanging on to is a steel rope, and when in reality it is toilet paper, okay? Because no one likes Donald Trump. No one with moral fiber can like Donald Trump. They mentally and physically cannot like the man, no matter, even if he did a fantastic job as president. A rapist, in my book, is a rapist. A fraud, in my book, is a fraud. The man and his kids stole money from fucking cancer charity for kids. They stole money from people in their fucking university. He's ripped off and stolen from every fucking partner he's ever had. He doesn't pay his bills. The man is the lowest form of human fucking, personality. So if you are voting for him, it's for a reason. Donald Trump is supported by rich men because he's good for rich men. And rich men understand that they haven't been paying taxes. They haven't been paying their share. They haven't been contributing, okay? They've bought and purchased so many people in our fucking government and our Supreme Court that they're ruining our fucking country, but they don't care. You see, those kind of people truly believe that when you take your last breath and you die, that it is blackness and that they will escape all accountability. Nothing could be further from the truth. Okay? So, yeah, I had to explain to her that there's a difference between politics, politicians, public servants. I categorize politics into many little separate groups because that's the truth. That's the reality. There are people who are absolutely for the American people who could not be elected president. And that's a pretty sad thing to say, but it's true because that's how politics works. That's politics. Okay? That's how it works. It's not a good thing. It's not something that we want to admit, but it's the truth. Okay? Bribery agents, that should be illegal. When someone running for president walks in, you don't even need to be a bribery agent with Donald Trump. The man goes out and fucking seeks them out. They don't have to go to his office. He calls these people to him and says, if you give me $1 billion, I will let you pollute the fucking earth until we all die of fucking heat exhaustion. because he's completely morally unfit as a human being. Okay? And these rich, now I want to tell you something. These people aren't stupid. They're only voting for him for tax breaks and the rules and regulations that he will let them avoid. Okay? But they're not fucking stupid. None of them endorse Donald Trump. They want him to win, but they're not going to go out and put their name, their reputation, their self out there on the line and say, I'm with Donald Trump, the way Nikki Haley did. Because they're not politicians. They're fucking businessmen. They don't have to suck anybody's ass. Nikki Haley does. Okay? The Lauren Boeberts, the Marjorie Taylor Greens. Okay? And yes, there's just as many bad Democrats as there are bad Republicans in politics. That's the truth. You're a child if you don't understand that. If you're not willing to accept that, okay, you're a child. You're a very shallow thinker, and you don't understand human nature. Okay. Kamala Harris, no, she wasn't my first pick for president, but it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter to the majority of voters. It doesn't matter to a majority of the people that were Nikki Haley against Donald Trump people, or Nikki Haley voters for Biden. She's now fighting a group that are continuing to use that theme in their name because she doesn't want to be associated with it, because the base will look at her in a bad way, and this might affect her ability to maintain this fucking job. You see, not many people who have a career have to fucking be rehired every 2 or 4 years, okay? They don't have to fucking do that. Politicians do. And therefore, you will know within 10 years of a politician's starting their career, you will know who and what they are, okay? And, I've said many times, term limits is the way to eliminate all of these problems. The bribery agents, the pollution, a warming planet, people not paying their taxes. I mean, all of these things can be done with term limits, because at that point, the people who don't participate in polls, the reason, it's so close between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, nothing could be further from the truth. But you see, polls, by their nature, go to people with political views. They don't approach independents, because a true independent will say immediately, I'm not interested in doing your poll. Now that's an independent. If an independent can't wait to give you their fucking political opinion, then they're not a true independent. Term limits would solve every one of these fucking problems, because these people would understand, I only got this job for 2 years. What can I do to make the world view me, to open up opportunity, to get hired, to get hired upwards, or for my company to do better? How do I do that? Well, you do that by serving the people and not bribery agents. Because when you get out after your 2-year stint, everybody's like, hey, I want that fucking guy on my team. See? Term limits solves every fucking issue this planet has. I can tell you, guarantee you. There's nothing that you can comment on the video. There's nothing that you can challenge me with that I can't show you is solved by term limits. I challenge you. Okay? I challenge you. Name a problem in the world, from taxes to medicine to climate change to cleaning up the oceans. You fucking name it, and I will explain to you quite simply how term limits solves that problem. Okay? All right. I had to get that off my chest. Don't be fooled by politicians, and learn to truly understand what politics is, okay?